Seltzer Kings
podcasts.
Hey, it's me, the Quenchies. I'm that late afternoon craving you just can't shake. Wait, what's that? Welch's Grape Aid? No! Made with real fruit and no added sugar, nothing answers the call of the Quenchies like Grape Aid. Got the Quenchies? Grab a Grape Aid in your juice aisle.
She doesn't get the sacrifices. She's a kid.
And that's what bugs. She gets to be a kid, and she acts like it's the biggest burden in the world. Sometimes I would like to just curl up in Mom's lap and not worry about the fate of the world. I'd like to be the one who's protected, who's waited on.
Hand and foot, getting her own way. Always the favorite.
You nut. Your mom loves you both equally. But if I'm wrong, I find money usually helps tip the scale. Slip choice at 10 or 20 once in a while. Then we'll see who's the favorite.
He says I'm like a kid sister.
Here come the judge.
But sometimes, when he looks at me, I feel like he sees me as I am. As a woman.
Crap. Look at this. Now I'm burdened with a husband and several tiny pink children. More cash than I can reasonably manage.
That means you're winning.
Really?
Yes, cash equals good.
Oh, I'm so pleased. Can I trade in the children for more cash?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I'm Joe Welke.
I'm Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 2, Real Me. Directed by David Grossman, written by David Fury. Original air date October 3rd, 2000, to an audience of 6.17 million people. And we have some freaking shout outs at the top here. Okay, so we gotta go in some kind of order here. Okay, number one, the general shout out. We got another Apple Podcast review, which is fantastic. Rate and review and all that jazz from number 11 special. You know who this Discord user is, right? Master of Books.
Yes.
Master of Books, thank you so much for your lovely review. I also have to give a special shout out to our Discord user, Holy Fat Fish. A lot of people were getting concerned about me being on Wikipedia looking up these stats. So Holy Fat Fish made a couple of PDFs for me to look at. So I don't get anything spoiled on Wikipedia. So thank you for that. That is dope.
You said, don't mess up my experience.
Yeah. So that's dope. Also, shout outs to I had no idea anyone was going to buy anything off of this wish list. So we made it as kind of a joke and we were like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. Shout out to Slytherin. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to Buffalo for the lovely Buffy the Vampire themed gifts and other miscellaneous things. We got a mug. We got some socks. We got
Some
Olive Garden gift cards, yeah.
So I will be going to Olive Garden for the first time ever at some point.
That will be great. And also, I also have a pretty decently big announcement. I don't know if anyone's noticed this yet on our Patreon, but there's a new tier, everybody. There's a new tier for a special video series that I have created and will hopefully continue if you guys enjoy it. It's called Joe's Fashion Report. It is going to be a video series where I, Joe, am going to be breaking down the fashion. I got a little too into it last episode where I was like taking notes on everybody's outfits and I was like, this should be something separate. I can't hijack the podcast this much with the fashion stuff.
Vampires are swooping in and you're like, did you see her shoes?
So I decided to go ahead, bust out my video camera, and we will have video aids showing exactly what I'm talking about. And I will be breaking down. It's going to be like short videos. Don't worry. It's not like a half-hour breakdown every week. I don't have that much time. But I thought it would be fun to do that. So that is a new tier on Patreon. If you're not really feeling Angel, you could just sign up for the Joe's Fashion Report. It's $3 a month. But if you sign up for Boys Watching Angel or Boys Watching Movies tier, that will be included. So there you go, everybody. Wanted to give that a little plug. And if you guys hate it, I'm going to stop doing it. So, you know, I just have this video content, video camera shit, and I figured, like, you know, we might as well use it. I'm not really using it for anything at this moment. So, yeah.
You're going to be on E's fashion watch or whatever. You're going to be on the red carpet. Who are you wearing?
Who are you wearing?
Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Hot Topic.
I don't know. Men's Warehouse.
So that's about everything at the top. Do we have anything else at the top here?
No, I don't. That's more plugs than we usually have.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, check out the Amazon wish list. We're keeping it updated. Check out the Patreon
stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, hey, look, people bought us stuff, and now they're getting a whole new tier on Patreon. It took like
exactly.
Yeah, so
you inspired. I was like, I feel bad. We're getting so many generous things that want to give back. New tier, new video stuff.
I mean, if people give us
wanting some video stuff,
yeah,
you know,
if people give us some, you know, bigger things off the Amazon wish list, who knows what they could get?
I mean, the Oculus is still on there, everybody. Who's going to be the person? Who's going to be the person to step up to get Vance a Nintendo Switch? All right. Enough of our whoring. We get into the episode.
Shameless plugs.
Yeah. All right. So Real Me starts out with a recap about, you know, Buffy asking Giles to teach her about her Slayer powers. Xander declaring that it's over. He's not going to be anybody's butt monkey anymore. And then the reveal of Buffy's sister, whose name is Dawn, played by Michelle Trachtenberg. So the episode opens up with Buffy doing some intense Slayer yoga. Giles is walking around her, talking about what you are. Let everything fade away. Discover what you are, who you are, what power you truly have. And Buffy's doing some meditating, and then she does some, like, a handstand on a wooden block that transfers into a one-armed handstand, which is incredibly difficult, everybody.
None of this seems surprising or shocking that she could do, being the Slayer.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen her, like, pull herself up by one hand, like, throw people across a room. I'm like, yeah, I think she could do a handstand.
Yeah, I mean, a one-arm handstand, that's like regular people. I know people that can do those.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But of course, there's crystals there. And you know, once crystals are there, that's how you know some mystical shit's going on. Okay. If I've learned anything about dating women in LA, that's the mystical shit. So Buffy's doing her one-armed handstand, finally, like, tapping into an inner peace that she's never known before. And Dawn shows up and just puts another crystal on top, and all the crystals fall over, thus causing Buffy to fall on her face.
She lost her concentration.
Yeah. Then Dawn's like, oops, did I screw it up?
And I'm like, who are you?
And then we get the opening credits, and our Discord user Alex tipped us off that we should watch the opening credits, and Michelle Trachtenberg is in the opening credits.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't need to watch the opening credits for the character that I knew was in this show since the beginning. Or at least not the character, the actress I knew was in this show.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, though?
Let's hear it.
Tara's not in the opening credits.
She is not. She's still Amber Benson as Tara. Yeah. And that, like, little... I was amazed at how many people they've added to the opening credits, but the song is still the same length, you know?
It's just editing.
It's a lot of new people in these opening credits.
You just cut out some of the random shots of people during that intro.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dawn is apparently a new full-time, full-fledged member of this show. And this episode, after the opening credits, opens up with Dawn journaling, writing in her diary, and we're hearing what she's writing. It's like, nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows the real me. And nobody pays attention to me. And nobody asks me about myself. And everybody just neglects me. And I'm like, yeah, dude, we've neglected you for 4 seasons.
I'm like, who are you again? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we are dealing with a superstar situation again.
We absolutely have to be.
Yeah.
This has got to be an interdimensional, some kind of conjured up figment of our imagination.
Yeah.
Like, this can't be real.
Yeah. This would be the most insane retcon of, like, if they do one of those episodes where we see like a past episode, but she's there in a way, like, you know, where you're like, oh, I
just
didn't
like
know
peering
there.
around a corner.
Yeah. She's like, we gotta stop it. Like, she's making hot chocolate for, like, Joyce is making hot chocolate for Spike, and then Dawn is in the background, like, also getting hot chocolate, like, or across the table, like, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this has got to be some kind of different universe, something. Because, well, as she's writing in her journal, she's like, yeah, nobody cares about me. No one pays attention to me just because I'm not a slayer and Buffy's a slayer and everyone thinks she's so cool. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right, so Dawn knows that Buffy's a vampire slayer too. And then there's this like breakfast making montage where, you know, Buffy made something and then Dawn steals it and eats it. And Buffy's like, no, damn it, Dawn. Or she stole the last of the milk or something.
And you know how much Buffy loves milk.
We do. She chugged a whole carton of milk.
Milk and OJ. Freshly squeezed OJ. That's what she's all about.
Yeah. So Buffy is like, all right, I'm about to go out. I'm going to the magic shop to shop for stuff with Giles. And Joyce is like, oh, you can't do that because you have to take Dawn shopping for back to school supplies. And Buffy's like, but Mom, you get magic job. And Dawn's like, I don't want to go with Buffy. I don't want to go to Hogwarts. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. I was like, all right, we're getting more modern references, I guess.
So then Riley shows up and he compliments Joyce's outfit. And I was like, stay in your fucking lane, Riley. That's my shit.
Riley's fashion corner.
Yeah. But he's like, hey, what's up, Buffy? And then they all start like smooching. And Dawn's like, oh, Riley and Buffy, it's so annoying that Buffy has a boyfriend and I'm jealous because I don't have a boyfriend or whatever.
There's a line that Riley says here that is so off-putting. It's almost as off-putting as you'll teach me or something like that.
Yeah, you're going to teach.
You're going to teach me? He's like, he comes in, compliments the mom. She's like, oh, Buffy says something about it, right? And he's like, yeah. Oh, what? It's better than like if I came in here and I was like, I'm here to violate your firstborn. Like, I'm here to violate your firstborn never goes over well.
Yeah. And
I was like, that is gross on so many choices. Violate the specificity of firstborn. Like, you know, like,
he started talking to Giles too much.
Yeah. I'm here to violate your firstborn never goes over well. What?
Yeah.
You don't say that. You don't say that to someone you're dating, even as a joke about it's the wording is just so crazy.
Well, it's also weird because he has to know that Dawn is standing right there.
Earshot. She is within earshot. And why did he loop her into this? Like the firstborn line loops to him that he's
I think they're trying to really hammer home that Dawn exists. Yes. Which I don't think she does.
Yeah, that was a line that hammered that she exists. And that Riley is there for the sexing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just threw me off, man. I was like, what is that?
You better be careful, Riley. You might end up with another freaking horny teenage poltergeist situation if you get too into this.
Xander might have to watch out, too.
Oh, my God. Yeah. But then Riley's like, oh, hey, what's up, kid? And Dawn's like, I'm not a kid. And
which gets repeated a bunch.
Yeah.
That's the theme.
So then Dawn like fucks off. Buffy and Riley sits down and Riley's like, you ready to hang out? And Buffy's like, ooh, no, I can't hang. I gotta go to the magic shop with Giles. And Riley's like, oh, okay, that sucks. But, I understand. You're really headstrong in this mission that you're doing and trying to figure out more about the first Slayer and who you are. And you're trying to begin to know what you need to know to begin what you need to do.
Giles is like, now I'll start training you.
Yeah, right?
Punching me with catcher's equipment on wasn't should never have been
slacking off.
Yeah.
Just been slacking off for a year.
Yeah.
I guess since you now take an interest.
Yeah.
All these years later. Yeah. So Riley's like, all right, we'll chill later. Don't worry about it. And Buffy's like, thanks. You're so kind. So then we go to Giles, Buffy, and Dawn in Giles' new hot convertible.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a cop catcher red BMW convertible, baby. And they're driving, and Giles is like, I got this new car. It's kind of a pain in the ass, though. It's nothing like my old car. And he like can't get the hang of an automatic transmission, which like it stalls out. And I'm like, that doesn't, how does that happen?
He's like wanting to switch gears.
Yeah.
But you can't really, like, it'll just stop. Like, what is he switching to neutral while he's driving and then going back to drive? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't, unless he's trying to do like the switching gears. Like, I don't know. I've never stalled out my automatic transmission car. When I drove a stick shift, oh yeah, quite a few times. Yeah. And that's no bueno. You just get that like, gug, 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 gug. But yeah, then Dawn's like fussing with the radio because Giles is playing classical, and Giles is like, stop touching the fucking radio, Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And Giles is even annoyed by Dawn at this point. But he's complaining about his new car, and then Buffy's like, oh, well, let's go over to the coffee shop, or we got to go to the magic shop. And they see Willow and Tara coming out of the espresso pump.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, let's go say hi to them. And Giles is like, oh, yeah, they haven't seen my new car yet.
Yeah. It's like,
just seconds second after he's complaining about it.
Mm-hmm.
So they pull up and they get out, and Willow and Tara are going to the magic shop too. And then Willow is like, hey, what's up, Dawn? And then we get more of Dawn's inner monologue, like, I like Willow. Willow's super nice. And Tara's really cool too. And I was like, this is a different, this is a new world.
It's like, and then we get more like witch same-sex metaphors. Like, I want to learn some witch stuff. Ask my mom to do this. I was like, I want to do what they do. And my mom said, go to your room. Like, yeah. Dawn thinks that witches are cooler than slayers. Mm-hmm. It's like that typical sibling thing of like, you don't think your sibling's cool. Oh, yeah.
But she's like, yeah, I wanted to do witch stuff, but my mom said no. No daughter of mine.
You'll have sex with robots and vampires and like it.
Oh, man. Remember when they did that whole thing about like Buffy coming out as the Slayer to Joyce? Mm-hmm. And Joyce is like, is it something that I did?
Yeah.
So like, I would love to see Dawn trying to be a witch, and like Joyce is just like, no, every daughter of mine is. Have you tried not being a witch? Yeah. Man. So then Willow's talking to Buffy about like, I think it's really cool that you're looking into the history of Slayers and wanting to be a Slayer and know more about your powers. And then Buffy's like, oh yeah, in order to do that, I have to drop a class. And Willow's like, that's all cool. That's cool. I understand you have to drop class. And then Buffy's like, it's the drama class that I was going to be in with you. And Willow's like, fuck no, you can't.
I can't believe Giles. I can't believe she's still doing the drama class.
I know.
I thought that was just
after the dream.
I thought that was just a setup so we could have it in Restless.
Yeah. So then they go to the magic shop and they're like, magic shop looks closed. It's all boarded up and the lights are off. And then they go in and the place is ransacked. And Willow's looking around and she trips over the owner, Mr. Bogarty.
Why are they surprised that Tara knows the owner of the magic shop by name?
Yeah.
I was like, isn't this the same shop that they buy all their witch stuff from?
Dude, there's only one
store.
Magic shop.
Yeah.
You know?
And I remember Willow and Xander would just go there like every day on errands. So Tara knowing the owner is like, why? It's like, you know she's a witch too.
It seems like Tara's like more into being a witch. Like she's more experienced with witch stuff than Willow is.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not assume? You think she's getting all of her stuff organically? Like going to the woods and actually getting an eye of Newt?
I feel like Willow knew that lady that one time that got killed by Spike or whoever. Remember? Oh, hey, thanks. I'll be back. See you. Like, they were on a first name basis. They just look at Tara like, what's going on with you? It was just a weird moment.
Yeah. So after Willow trips over this dead body, Buffy's like, Dawn, go outside. You gotta go outside. And Dawn's like, no, I want to see the dead body.
Yo, what do they do with this dead body? Because I was thinking about it.
Right?
They just stumbled across a dead person. They were like, no police. We got this.
This looks like a job for 4 teenagers and an old man.
Yeah. All right, we'll burn the body out back. And
nobody can know about this.
Yeah.
Let's forge some documents to make it look like Giles will be the recipient of this.
Hey, Tara, this is your best friend. Did he have any relatives, any family members to alert?
So they take Dawn outside, and Dawn's like trying to peer through the window at what's going on. And some crazy guy comes up to her, and he's like, what are you doing here? You can't be here. And Dawn's like, what is up with you? You're crazy. Get away from me. And he's like, shh, wait a minute. I know you. You're not supposed to be here. You don't belong here. I know what you are. And Dawn's like, shut the fuck up, bro. This is supposed to be a mystery.
And he mentions that he's a cat. And I was like, is this the cat? This
it's the cat from the Faith thing 3 seasons ago?
Yeah, is little sis the bedroom cat? I don't know.
Dude, this is getting
really
convoluted.
Here's the thing. I don't know, but I don't really care either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while the Scoobies are in the magic shop trying to figure out what to do with this dead body, Tara leaves and she's looking for Dawn, and she finds her. Dawn just sitting on a curb, and then she comes up to Dawn, and Dawn's like, what's up with that guy in there? Is he dead? And Tara's like, yeah, that dude's dead. And Dawn's like, I mean, why they gotta leave me out? I want to be in on this stuff. And Tara's like, look, there's some stuff that's best handled by the Scoobies, and I understand how you're feeling, like you're a little bit of an outsider. But, you know, they have a bond that we haven't broken into yet. So let's just pass the time by thumb wrestling.
Yep, that was the thing. Rock, paper, scissors to solve a question or problem.
Thumb wrestling takes literally like 25 seconds at most.
Yeah, but you play multiple rounds.
Yeah, but if you win one.
It's not a big cell phone time, man.
Yeah.
Keep on carrying books around. Like, you had to come up with stuff.
Yeah. So then they go back into the magic shop, and Buffy's like, whoa, look at all these bite marks on this Bogarty guy. He's definitely got killed by a vampire or more. Looks like there was a feeding here. And then Willow is looking through the inventory at the magic shop, and she's like, there's a lot of stuff missing from here, too. And Giles deduces that it's a pack of vampires looking for things to learn about slayers and how to weaken them based on the inventory that's missing. And then Giles looks at their books and he's like, oh my God, this is incredible. And Buffy's like, what? What is it? And Giles is like, the profit margins for this place are amazing. Like, this is a really good business plan that they have here. And Buffy's like, there's a dead body on there. And she's like, yeah, but I think I figured out a new business plan.
I like this as something for him to do, but it seems so so absurd. Like, it's funny in the moment that someone's dead and he's talking about this. Like, it's definitely a good scene. But if you think deeper on it, it's like, I think sourcing the magic material has to be an issue. Like, I don't know where you get any of this stuff from. He would have to know how to source stuff. He doesn't have Watcher connections anymore. He still has connections somehow with people, you know? And he says that being a librarian is like the same as running a store, except for people pay for the things they borrow. Yeah. I was like, no. You were a school librarian too. Not
even like a librarian. Yeah. And nobody went into that school library. So yeah, Giles is like, this could be a good business. And Buffy's like, yeah, except for the fact that every store owner has been slaughtered by vampires and demons. And Giles is like, yeah, but we'll give a shit about that.
How do you not have protections at that store? I just don't get it, man.
What were they thinking was going to happen? Like, these are people that are tapped into the mystic arts. Did they not think that they're like at risk at all?
They need to be like the guy in the Angel episode that we're going to watch.
Yes.
At least he was, we won't go into spoilers or that, but like he's got a plan at least.
Yeah. That was good. Patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy for Boys Watching Angel. Anyway, and Joe's Fashion Report. Anyway.
Is that the official name?
Joe's Fashion Report, yep.
Okay.
All right. So then Giles is looking around too, and he sees that something's missing from a case. And Willow's like, well, apparently it's a ceramic unicorn that was in that case. And Giles is like, man, that must have been like really valuable. And Willow's like, no, it was like $12 and it has no intrinsic value. Like, there's nothing magical about it. And Giles is like, what kind of cheap, tasteless vampire would value that? Cut to our girl Harmony. She has a gang of vampires now.
Mm-hmm.
She's the leader of a pack of vampires that she sired, I guess. And they now follow her. And one of them stole the unicorn for her, and he places it onto a table that is full of unicorn dolls and figurines and shit like that. And it's some guy named Brad that they knew that from Sunnydale High.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other vampires like make fun of him. They're like, oh, you got her a frickin' unicorn? Your sire whipped.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I fucked up the last mission, so I had to make it up to her.
Yeah.
And Harmony's leading this like a sorority girl.
We forgot to mention that they were at the magic shop to steal books about the origin of the Slayer and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you mention that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I must have zoned out.
So Harmony's there like, okay, great mission, you guys. It's really awesome that all of you are here today to discuss our new mission. And we are going to enact a plan to kill the Slayer tonight. And the gang's like, hell yeah. And her gang is just a ragtag team of punk rockers and then Brad, this just regular guy. There's a gigantic guy named Mort who has like a 1950s greaser haircut.
Yeah. There's denim vest thing.
Yeah. There's like two punk rocker guys with like studded leather motorcycle jackets, and then Brad with just an orange sweater and some regular old jeans.
Now, on our season 4 recap, Harmony got a lot of votes for favorite villain.
Yeah.
I think it was a season too early for her to get votes for favorite villain.
Yeah.
No. Like, I feel like that was like I've seen the whole series. I like what stuff that she does later. I'm going to vote her in season 4. Season 4, she's not a vital part.
Yeah, she has a slap fight with Xander. That's about it. And then she gets abused by Spike.
Yeah. I like her. I like her in this.
Yeah, no, this is fun.
Yeah.
And you'll have to tune into the fashion report to see how I feel about Harmony's getup. Yeah, a little teaser for you. I'm pushing this fashion report thing pretty hard right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're enacting a plan to kill Buffy that night.
Mm-hmm.
So then
I had a question.
Okay.
Why? I just don't know why Harmony all of a sudden wants to kill Buffy.
I don't know. I guess to gain some credibility in the vampire community. I mean, if Buffy comes across any of them, she's gonna stake them.
Yeah, but you know where Buffy is. Just stay away.
True.
And
I mean, this is like our whole thing.
And she has run into them multiple times, Harmony, and been fine. So like, she's got the Buffy villain plot armor.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned multiple times, like, just go to a different city.
Yeah.
There's 2 places where Slayers are, LA and Sunnydale.
Yeah.
The rest of the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
Okay? Why set up shop the only place where a Slayer is and then a vampire that kills vampires?
Yeah.
Go to San Diego.
I just don't know. I just don't know her motivation to kill. Like, if it was to kill Buffy to get Spike back, I would hate it, but I would understand it in a weird way, you know? But it seems like she just wants to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. So then we go back to Buffy's house, and Joyce is annoyed that Buffy didn't take Dawn school shopping. In fact, she's even more annoyed that she took her to a murder scene. And Buffy's like, I didn't fucking know it was going to be a murder scene. I was just going to the magic shop.
Have you lived in Sunnydale? Everything's a murder scene.
Yeah. I mean, like anything. You go to a costume shop, you end up with a cursed fucking costume, and then you end up acting like a 14th century damsel in distress. Mm-hmm. But we get some crucial information here. We learn that Dawn is 14 years old. And so Joyce is like, well, I have to go to do my art exhibit thing. And you need to babysit Dawn tonight. And Buffy's like, I can't. There's fucking vampires on the loose murdering magic shop owners. I gotta investigate that.
Aren't there always vampires on the loose murdering somebody?
Yeah. Yeah. And Buffy's never had to babysit Dawn before.
There's a moment here where Buffy says, like, when she's complaining about, like, going out with Riley, she's like, we're going out to... She's like, it's not like I'm going to the sock hop with them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And earlier in this episode, Dawn is writing that she thinks Giles is old because he said newfangled.
Yeah.
Buffy just said sock hop.
Yeah.
Like, that should not be in her vocabulary at all. Like, I barely know what a sock hop is. I've heard of it. But isn't that like 60s?
Yeah, that's like the only time I've heard of sock hop
like
is
Happy
in like
Days?
Greece.
Yeah, Greece.
Yeah.
Like, don't call Giles old for saying newfangled, which is an old word, but Buffy's throwing sock hop around.
Yeah, it's like sock hop in the malt shop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Johnny Rockets. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I fucking love Johnny Rockets.
Never went to a Johnny Rockets.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't.
There was one at the Inner Harbor in Baltimore.
Yeah, there was one like off of Astor Place too in New York, right?
There's one at Universal. Vance, yeah. We got to make a trip to Universal City Walk to go to Johnny Rockets.
It was something about that time period that, you know, people looked like me weren't really. Didn't see.
Dude, there's this one.
Which we'll learn a lot about in the new Angel episode.
Oh my God, yeah. There's this one comedian that was talking about Johnny Rockets, and he was like, yeah, they're really dedicated to like that aesthetic and making everything authentic to the 1950s, and they made it so authentic that they didn't serve me. I was like, God damn, that's a good joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if you don't know what Johnny Rockets is, it's just like a diner that's like 1950s, 60s themed.
Yeah.
It's good. Tasty. Anyway, so Buffy's like, I don't want to babysit Dawn. And Dawn's like, I can stay home alone. And then Buffy's like, well, I can't babysit Dawn. I need to go out on patrol. And Joyce is like, well, then who's going to watch her? And Buffy's like, I'll get Xander to do it. And Dawn's like, hell fucking yes.
I don't know if you hear like slide. Yeah, that's cool.
So then Xander shows up with some pizza and he's like, hey, what's up, Dawn? How's it going? The coolest 14-year-old I know. And Dawn's like,
I'm surprised he didn't come over with like a skateboard, like the like flannel shirt tied around the waist, like.
So then we hear some Dawn inner monologue, and Dawn's like, Xander's the coolest. He is awesome. He is so hot and dreamy, and he's nice, and he treats me like I want to be treated. He doesn't see me like a little girl. He looks at me like I'm a full grown woman. And I was like, oh boy.
Now, the thing I know about this actress on this show is at some point there was like, she couldn't be alone with Joss Whedon. There was like,
oh no.
That is like, I haven't dove into it because I don't want to get into spoilers and stuff. And when the character leaves the show, if she leaves the show, whatever. But yeah, I just remember hearing like at a certain point, it was like, yeah, we're just going to make sure they're just never in the same room alone or by themselves. Like, their interactions.
Yuck.
So,
I wonder how old she was like during filming of the show, because she's supposed to be 14 in the show. I don't know if they're like, you know, I mean, Xander's supposed to be 19, but he's very obviously 45 years old.
Spike's 50.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dawn's talking about how cool and hot and smart and fun Xander is. And then she's like, and he like treats me like an equal, and he doesn't like look down on me. And I would like to hook up with Xander, basically. And then she's like, there's just one problem. And then Anya shows up, and Anya's got like, I got a bunch of board games. I got Clue. I got Monopoly. And I got the Game of Life. And Dawn's like, get the fuck out of here. I hate this bitch.
Michelle Trachtenberg would have been maybe 15. She's 37 now. And it was 2001.
Okay. All right, so that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. And disturbing if that story about him is true.
Yeah, that is very disturbing. Especially like if Xander is supposed to, like, people say that Xander is supposed to be Joss's stand-in on the show. And it's like, this 14-year-old wants to fuck me.
Now,
ew, dude. Ew.
In minor defense, and I don't even think this is like right, it's like that happened a lot in sitcoms and stuff, so like younger kid like that. But yeah, if you add that layer to it, then it gets weird. But that used to be the thing. The young girl having the
younger kid,
yeah,
on the sister's friend or whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's just true. Like when I was a kid, like I had crushes on my sister's friends. Mm-hmm. So that's a thing. But knowing that backstory and like the implications, it's like, oh no.
And this ice cream scene.
Oh, God.
Dude.
Oh, man. But yeah, before we get to that ice cream,
God.
Dude, I don't like that you just put that knowledge into my head.
Hey, I had to live with that and know that this character was, wait 5 seasons for this character to show up. So if I got to do it, you got to do it. You got your PDFs.
Yeah, I've got the bird.
That's probably why you have the PDFs.
So then we go to Willow and Tara is talking to Willow about how she feels bad for Dawn and how Dawn has to live in Buffy's shadow and how she feels like an outsider. And Tara's like, I know how that feels. And Willow's like, what are you talking about? You know how that feels? And Tara's like, you guys very obviously don't consider me like part of the Scooby gang. And like, you guys have a history and there's a bond and there's like a relationship that's like hard to crack into there. And Willow's like, oh baby, no, you're not an outsider. And then she gives her a little hug from behind, a little standing spooning, head on Tara's shoulder. And Willow's like, you know, maybe we should open it up a little bit more. Maybe we should have like a Scooby initiation thing. And Tara's like, look, I'm not fucking lame. You don't need to do that for me. But maybe you should do it for like Dawn so that she feels included. And Willow's like, ugh, okay, fine. I wanted to initiate you with a nether region spell, but we'll do some bullshit for Dawn, I guess.
There's a moment here where Willow calls Tara one of the good guys, and Tara like flinches and looks away and pulls away from her. It's like,
Did Tara conjure Dawn?
Oh, that's the thing too. Like, because Tara is very perceptive. Well, she wasn't perceptive enough with Jonathan, but she was perceptive enough with Buffy to know that that was Faith in Buffy's body. So it's like one of those things where like she can tell, but then she can't. But I would think she would be able to tell with Tara, or tell with Dawn.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who knows what anymore on this show and like what's real. Like this seems like it's all a dream, and if it's all if this ends with like it was all a dream, I'm gonna be so mad, and it's such a waste of time.
I don't think they're gonna do all a dream, because even Superstar wasn't all a dream. Stuff that happened, it was still happening. Time was still moving forward. It was just like alternate believability, reality. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing yet, and I'm not. Yeah, I'm just not sold on it yet. I'm sure that it's gonna be weird and interesting, and I don't. But it's just, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, it does really feel like a Jonaverse situation, just because of, everybody has a knowledge and history with Dawn that we've never heard of or seen before. Yeah. And it's like, what is this? Yeah, if it is a Superstar type thing, then that episode definitely has more credence as a way to set up that something like this could happen, Well, do you remember when we reviewed that episode? We were like, I would be so paranoid about what's real and what's not anymore. It's like, how can you live in this world where just somebody could create an alternate universe like that? I mean, Xander's dating a wish demon, like, who made random wishes happen. Like, how do you know you're not, like, within someone's wish that she made? Like, yeah. Like, all of her wishes weren't like, oh, if I make this wish, that person's gonna die, Yeah. Like, it was like the shrimp stuff. Where's that world with all the shrimp? It's like, seriously, like, she did that. She said you could do that, but yeah. Well, would also be interesting if it is like a Jonaverse thing, because remember the thing about the Jonaverse wish fulfillment was that like a larger evil resided within. So like, if this is that, what is going to be like the larger evil that we see? Yeah. Whatever. It's just stuff to speculate on, all right? People that know the show are like, what are these guys talking about? Yeah, they're so off the mark. I remember in Discord, like I mentioned, like, Dawn's got to be some kind of multiverse thing. And somebody was like, you have no idea how pissed you're making everybody in the spoiler section. I was like, oh, okay. Joe's like, job well done. Signing off. Yeah. So then we have a scene of Buffy and Riley walking around the graveyard at night, and Buffy's like, Dawn sucks so bad, I fucking hate her. And Riley's like, I think you'd be a little hard on the girl. Like, she's just a kid. She's trying to figure some stuff out. And Buffy's like, no, she sucks. She's such a pain in the ass. And my mom is always taking her side. And Riley's like, well, like, you are her idol. She looks up to you, dude. Like, she really enjoys your company, thinks you're cool. And Buffy's like, you really think so? I don't know about that, because I think she's annoying and I'm jealous of her, and she's so innocent and everybody likes her and everyone wants to take care of her. Nobody gave a shit about when I was a teenager and I saw my first dead body and I was out patrolling and hunting and killing vampires when I was her age. And Riley's like, easy, dude. Okay, easy. We're back to the Buffy, woe is me. I just want to be a normal teen. She gets to be a normal kid. I couldn't be a normal kid. And we're like, you don't want to be a normal kid. You want to complain about not being a normal kid, but you don't want it. You had a chance. Yep. Kendra came. Yep. You could have taken a step back. Didn't want it. You lost your powers. Freaked out. Complained to Willow, the weakest of the group at the time. She didn't even have her full witch powers. Man. She doesn't want that life. But you're going to get one of these every 3 to 4 episodes. Like 3 or 4 episodes a season, you're going to get her complaining about the burden. The burden of being a slayer. Yeah. The one thing she'd never give up. Yeah. So then we're juxtaposed with Dawn complaining about Buffy to Anya and Xander. Like, everybody thinks that Buffy's so cool and everybody wants to hang out with Buffy because she's a Slayer and she's so awesome. Like, nobody gives a shit about me. Everyone always forgets about me and all this shit. And then, you know, Anya is playing life and she's super annoyed. She's like, ugh, look at this. I got all this extra cash and I got all these kids. This is so annoying. And then when Xander's like, you know that means that you're winning, right? Like, you have a bunch of money and a family and stuff. And then Anya's like, ooh, okay, I'm winning. Can I trade in my kids for cash? Awesome.
Awesome joke. Really, really jumped through some hoops to get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Anya knows what money is.
Yeah.
Like,
what are they doing to her?
She knows how the world works. She's not that, like, she tried to wake him up and said, hey, go work a job, make money to help me, like, to buy me things. Like, she knows how money works. Where does she live?
With Riley, off screen, in the off screen mansion. She moved into Dracula's mansion.
Yeah.
That disappeared probably. But yeah, this is the scene where like Dawn is eating ice cream and she just has it all over her face. And she's talking about how like Xander sees her as she really is a woman.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh.
Why are you eating ice cream like that? Like, she's supposed to be 14, not 6.
Like, she's
like,
yeah, why is it all over your face? It's all over her face. Like, oh man. But then as they're all discussing this, a rock gets thrown through the window of Buffy's house. And I wrote in my notes, there goes another window in Buffy's house.
Dude, Joyce is broke, man.
She's got to be. That's why she's got to work at night for this exhibition. She's got to pick up extra shifts at the art exhibit.
Yo, who's watching over Joyce when she comes back from these nightly... Like, your mom is, like, at night exhibits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to have somebody watching her.
You just pack her a steak in her brown bag when you make her lunch.
Like, wrap her up in a crucifix or something. Like one of those, like, holy water, like, suits.
Like, no, actually, like, tie her to a crucifix, make her walk with it like Jesus did.
Yeah. That's the only way she's making it home.
This episode is brought to you by National Geographic, presenting its new documentary film, Endurance. Follow the greatest survival story ever told, unpacking the legendary feat of polar explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton, who kept his crew alive for over a year, despite losing their ship in frigid pack ice. Over a century later, a team of modern-day explorers set out to find the sunken ship. Endurance, now streaming on Hulu and Disney+.
So, you want to be a marketer. It's easy. You just have to score a ton of leads and figure out a way to turn them all into customers. Plus, manage a dozen channels, write 1 million blogs, and launch 100 campaigns all at once. When that's done, simply make your socials go viral and bring in record profits. No sweat. Okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. But with HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools, launching benchmark-breaking campaigns is easier than ever. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
But, so they go and pick up the rock. It's got a note tied to it, and it says, Slayer, come out and die, with a little smiley face on it. And Harmony's waiting out there, and she's like, I'm waiting for you, Buffy. Come out here and face me. And she's with her whole vampire gang.
Well, this brings up the thing that we mentioned. Like, if you're standing through a doorway, you can still throw stuff in.
Yeah.
You can still, like, open the door and shoot someone. Like, you could sniper them. You can, like, you could get a spear and probably stab.
Ooh,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you can't walk through the door, but apparently you can throw stuff through it. So,
yeah.
So
then Xander goes to the door and he opens it up and he's like, Harmony? You're still around? What? And you have a gang now? And then he just starts laughing and Harmony's like, What? I got a gang. And Xander's like, oh my God, this is so pathetic. Like, why would you guys follow Harmony? She's such a... hold on a second, is that Brad from high school? And he's like, fuck you, Xander. He's like, Brad, you're a minion for Harmony.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. And then Harmony's like, that's a lot of big words coming from you. I heard that you were freaking Dracula's little minion for a spell. And this is like a thing where Dawn had mentioned earlier in her journal that Xander like stood up to Dracula, which was obviously like a fabrication that Xander told Dawn to make himself seem cool.
I mean, he did, make fun of him to his face. That's not a lot of people. A lot of people can't say that.
He did do that twice. Okay, He made fun of him to his face in the graveyard, and then right before he was turned into a Renfeld, a little hint towards the future of something maybe. When he was turned into Dracula's minion, right before that, he was like, "I'll fucking fight you with my fists." I was like, okay, so I did do that. Yeah. But, so yeah, they start making fun of Xander for being a little bitch boy for Dracula. And then Dawn is like, stop lying about my man Xander. He would never be Dracula's minion. And Xander's like, that's right. That's right, Dawn. Yeah, you tell him. And then
you still have a little bit of ice cream on your face somehow.
And then Xander's like, I think Harmony tries to come in. He's like, ooh, can't come in. Like, or Harmony says something about like, if you came out here, I would fucking destroy you. And Xander's like, I'm not going out there because I'm smart. And then Dawn goes, yeah, why don't you come inside and try and fight Xander?
It's like, come inside and say that to his face or something like that. It's some setup. Yeah. And the whole time this scene was happening, I was like, somebody's accidentally going to invite them in. Like some wording will like get them in.
Because otherwise, just close the door and just like wait.
Talk through the broken window.
Right?
And my thing about this is, Xander, you do realize you have to leave and go back to your basement, right? And you just pissed off the guy in that group too. Like you just heckled him. I'm like, what are you gonna do when you walk home? Like they're just so unafraid of regular vampires. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, especially like Harmony, who is like they just like don't respect her at all.
She bit Willow.
Yeah. So Dawn is like, yeah, why don't you come in and fucking say that to Xander's face? And then Harmony's like, my pleasure. Thank you for that. And Anya's like, what the fuck are you doing, Dawn, you idiot?
Yeah.
So Harmony jumps in, attacks Xander, is just on top of him, and Dawn runs away. Mm-hmm. Anya runs away to look for weapons, it seems like. And then Harmony's like heckling Xander as she's about to like try and bite him. The gang can't come inside because it was for only Harmony.
Yeah.
Dude.
We get some more. We get another later. We get another thing too.
Another wrinkle to the rules of this invitation thing.
I love Anya's looking for a weapon, and she's like, I can't believe I can't find a weapon at the Slayer's place. Love that.
Yeah.
There should be like trap doors with like spikes. Like there should be like break in case of emergency everywhere.
Well, dude, it's like regular people. I know a lot of regular people that have like something like a baseball bat by the door or something just in case something goes down. Like the Slayer doesn't have a stake right by the door or something.
There should be a stake on every coffee table, on every chair.
Yes. Yes. It should be Home Alone rigged out to fucking just kill any vampire that steps foot in there.
Mm-hmm.
So Anya just takes a lamp and smashes it over Harmony's head. And then Xander just power kicks her out of the house. Like Harmony goes flying. And I was like, is this a little hint? Does Xander have some kind of superpowers now? Like he kicked the shit out of her.
Yeah. Also, she doesn't just come immediately back in.
I know. Like, they just close the door.
I'm like,
and they're like, you can't get in now. It's like there's a broken window.
Yeah, just get back in there.
You're a vampire.
It's Anya and Xander. Like maybe she left because Buffy's not there and Buffy's her plan. But why is Buffy her plan? Who knows?
Yeah. So then Xander's like, we gotta tell Buffy about this, and then it cuts to Buffy just cracking up. while Xander's telling her about it. And she's like, wait a minute. Wait. Harmony from high school has a vampire gang and she has minions? Bah! And Riley's also laughing. I'm like, why are you laughing, Riley? You don't know this lady.
Yeah, Riley's like laughing kind of based off of her laughing, but also trying to be like, hey, this could still be serious.
Yeah. And then Xander's like, you shouldn't be laughing about this. And Buffy's like, why the fuck not? Harmony's hilarious. We don't take her seriously. I could kill her whenever I want to. And then Xander's like, well, she got an invite in. And Buffy's like, what? There's no way she got an invite in. The only way that she could be invited in is by someone who lives here. Now, is that a rule?
We had mentioned this maybe on the Angel podcast. Or no, yeah, because it had something to do with another character who took over someone else's place. And then it was like, if someone else lives there, like if, like I can't go to your place and then invite someone in. Yeah. We had that debate a while ago, I think. I think that's way too convoluted. And I'm sure that rule will get broken immediately. Yeah. It's probably been broken 1,000 times on the show. Yeah. But so Buffy's like, yeah, you can only get an invite in by someone who Oh, son of a bitch. Fucking Dawn, dude. So Dawn lives there. Yep. I mean, she can live there, but doesn't have to be like her sister. Yeah. So Buffy's like, I am going to fucking strangle Dawn. And they're like, whoa, take it easy. What constitutes living there? Would it be like you have your stuff there? Is it like you've spent 2 nights there before? Like what's the threshold? I have no clue, dude. Yeah. We're going to get into weeds of this again, and it's going to just annoy people that listen to this. But goddamn. So many people are turned off by our I know. Stuff. I love when people that like just start the podcast like hop on Discord. It's like, I don't know when you guys figure this shit out, but they can go into public places. And we're like, yeah, we know. I wish we could retcon our podcast. So Harmony's walking back to her little hideout, and she's like, man, I'm so annoyed that plan didn't work. That sucked so bad. And then one guy is like super hungry. His stomach's growling. It wasn't even a plan. Yeah, it was just go to the Slayer's house and kill her. Why are they stealing books to read about her if they're not going to do anything extra special? Yeah, their plan was like throw a rock through the window and like fist fight them. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Buffy's never fought 5 vampires before. One guy's stomach is rumbling. And he's like, I'm hungry. If I don't eat soon, like, I'm going to get fucking pissed. And then Brad's like, I'm pretty hungry too, but like, I think I can hold it out for our dear old Harmony. And then Brad just gets knocked out by Spike. And Spike's like, all right, let's fucking fight. I'm down to just like fight vampires out of nowhere all of a sudden for no reason. I could see him beating up random demons, but he's just like fighting vampires. Yeah. Get the chip out of your head, Spike. Dude, he's so directionless right now. Like, sure. I'm like, sure, just beat up a vampire gang. Like, that doesn't even seem like it'd be beneficial. It doesn't even seem like a good use of, like, your evilness. Like, you're still evil. You might not be able to physically kill people, but you could still do some fucked up shit. You're still allowed to steal. He just shows up to beat up random vampires that he comes across. Like, they weren't bothering him. He antagonizes them. I'm straight up killing Spike if I'm a vampire. Like, fuck the Slayer. Yeah. Angel and Spike are top of my list. The Slayer's supposed to kill you. Yeah. Not your own. Yeah. It's always your own. Always your own. So Harmony stops him. And he's like, Harmony? You're still around? And you have a gang now? And Harmony's like, yeah, no big deal. Don't worry about it. I'm a leader. And Spike's like, no fucking way. And the gang is like, yeah, we know about you, Spike. You're going around killing demons, killing vampires. That's not cool. And Spike's like, this is unreal. I can't believe that you have a gang. And Harmony's like, and you know what's more? I'm going to kill the Slayer.
And Spike's like, there's no fucking way that if I couldn't kill her, there's no way you're going to kill her. And Harmony's like, nuh-uh, we've got a plan. We've got a plan to kill the Slayer. And Spike's like, let me guess. You're going to kidnap somebody that's like close to her, and you're going to use them as bait, and you're going to lure Buffy out, and you're going to try to kill her that way. Trust me, I've done it. Doesn't work. And Harmony's like, no, that's not the plan at all. And Spike's like, you think that you're the new big bad in this TV show? That's adorable.
At one point, I was like, is she going to be?
No, I hope that. That'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But Harmony's like, you're not welcome here anymore, Spike, so get the fuck out of here. Get lost. And Spike's like, all right, see ya. And then Harmony turns around. She's like, guys, I got a new plan.
And I was like, wait, what? Does she really not? Like, how did she take this leadership role? Oh, and she also said, I found the real me in this.
Oh, yeah.
This is where she says the title of the episode. So
credits.
Our predictions were wrong.
Yep.
We knew it was gonna be about the sis Dawn, but we thought
I said that it was going to be about Buffy learning more about being the first Slayer, which she did kind of do at the beginning.
Kinda, yeah, but the real me whole title thing, it's just for Harmony, I guess.
Yeah. So then we go back to Buffy ranting about how pissed she is that Dawn invited Harmony, and she's pulling out all these weapons. And Xander and Riley are kind of like, hey man, this is a lot of weapons for just like vampires, just Harmony. And Buffy's like, well, it's different when they can come into our house and kill us while we're sleeping. And Xander's like, not a big deal, dude. Like, we can just have Willow come and do that like reverse invite spell. It's fucking done. And Buffy's like, no, Dawn doesn't get it. She is putting everyone's lives in danger. She grew up here knowing all of the rules of not inviting vampires in. And then Xander's like, I mean, Joyce invited a vampire in last episode.
I loved that.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, well, that's different. My mom was lonely and she thought that Dracula was hot and she was trying to fuck Dracula. This is different.
This is different because it involves you, Xander.
Yeah. This is different because Dawn's just a dumb, stupid bitch. And Riley's like, I think you're being a little too hard on her. She's just a kid. And Dawn is like listening in through the door. And she's like, I'm not just a fucking kid. Fuck this. This is bullshit. And Buffy's like, no, she's not a kid. She's an idiot, okay? She's a little idiot who's going to get us all killed. And then Dawn hears that and she's like, yeah, I fucking hate my big sister. She's the worst. And then she runs away and Buffy's like, look, dude, I can't fucking protect this girl 24 hours a day. Like, there's going to be times where she's going to be alone and I'm not going to be there to save her. All right. So she's got to learn the rules and she's got to be like more smart about this.
I will say Slayer should only be only childs.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, you find out that you're a Slayer when you're a teenager. So that's.
Yeah, what do you mean?
So, like, there's no way that her family could know that she was going to be the
but
Slayer.
I'm saying, like, not, I mean, the family
when
choosing
a Slayer.
Yeah.
Okay, smart. Yeah.
Like, I mean, why even have an extra person that they would have to deal with, you know? Unless you're going to send them away from the family and they're just going to be like Kendra, who's just, like, trained from birth, which I don't even understand how that works, because once you're training Kendra and she turns 20, she would probably never be a Slayer. We still don't know how Slayers work. We still don't know.
We don't know the selection criteria.
Also, why do they stay at Buffy's house knowing that the vampires can get in? At this point, don't sit in the kitchen laughing. Just go to Xander's basement, which is like a bunker apparently. Yeah. And tell your mom, hey, stay at the gallery or whatever you do somehow to stay safe in Sunnydale, but don't come home yet. Right?
Yeah.
They're inviting Willow over. Willow's going to walk right past like Harmony and the gang when she shows up. Like, I don't know.
I mean, Harmony could kidnap Joyce.
Harmony could just stay on the front lawn because apparently neighborhood watch does not exist in this neighborhood. Like, people, I feel like if you were a neighbor, you'd be like, what is happening at the Summers house again?
Yeah, remember when Angel was just standing on the front lawn?
He got thrown out the window.
Oh, dude.
Like,
don't get me started on the windows.
Yeah. But anyway. Dawn is... I think Dawn inviting the vampire in is bad. What she does now is even worse.
Yeah, because right now Dawn is like, I'm tired of being here. I'm going to run away. And then Anya chases her. And she's like, get back in the house.
Why not run to your room?
Go. Yeah. I mean...
She runs outside to cry.
Look, I know that she doesn't like Buffy because she's like, oh, Buffy, and Buffy's talking mad shit about her to her friends. Yeah. But in this situation, I'm taking the L and I'm just being like, I'm sorry, and sticking right by Buffy.
I'm going to my room to vent in my journal and throw stuff and play loud music. You know, like, do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, don't
punch a pillow.
Don't run out into the vampires.
So yeah, then Anya's trying to drag her back into the house, and then Mort, the giant crony of Harmony, just punches Anya back into the house,
dude,
where he's not allowed, and then he steals Dawn.
Yeah,
that's what you get, Dawn.
He hit the shit out of Anya.
Yeah, man. God. For as hard as Xander kicked Harmony, Mort punched Anya equally as hard.
Yeah.
And he's a giant dude.
I like him as a character, and I love the fight at the end with him.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's a big, like, intimidating presence, especially like juxtaposed with Buffy, Harmony, like all the other guys. Like, he's so much bigger than them.
And they're so tiny. Sarah Michelle Gellar is so tiny. Even when she's walking next to Riley, I'm like, I don't think Riley's a giant, but geez.
Yeah, I think I looked it up. Riley's like 6'1".
Yeah. She's
like, he looks enormous.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Xander, Riley, and Buffy come downstairs and they discover Anya knocked out. And they're like, what's going on? And Anya's like, they took her. They took her. And they're like, took who? Took who? It's like, who else do you think it's going to be?
I know.
And then she's like, they took Dawn. And then Buffy's like, what? All right. Game face. Time to go kill some vampires. So then we go to Harmony's little cave thing, and she's celebrating. She's like, this is great. We had such a successful plan. We kidnapped Buffy. And then she looks at Mort and she's like, kidnapped Dawn. Yeah. And then she looks at Mort and she's like, I trust that you've made our guest comfortable. And he goes, you told me to chain her to a wall. And then Harmony goes, yeah, I know. I was being sarcastic or whatever.
There's a great sketch about that. Like the Mitchell and Webb look, or one of those, where it's like, he's like a Bond villain. And he keeps like saying, oh yeah, take care of him. And it's like, wait, what do you mean? Like, does that mean kill? Like,
well, I like that, like, Harmony is trying to do like action movie lines, like Bond villain lines in this, and like nobody takes it serious, and it's so great. So they're like, all right, so now we got the Slayer sister. Like, I'm super hungry. Let's just eat Dawn right now. And Harmony's like, no, that's not part of the plan. And they're like, so what is the plan? And they're like, we'll lure Buffy here now that she knows that we have Dawn, and then we'll kill the Slayer and we'll eat Dawn after. And they're like, but why would we do that? She already knows that we have her, so it doesn't really matter if we eat her now or after. Like, she's gonna come to us. And Harmon's like, we're not doing that because that's not the plan. And then the vampire gang is like, your plan's bullshit, dude, and we're gonna do this plan. And I was like, all right, hell yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's like, her reasoning is, one, Buffy doesn't even know where you guys live at this point.
Yeah.
Like, what? I wish Harmony had a plan that wasn't, like, I wish she wasn't so incompetent in her plan.
It's a Dr. Evil plan.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, I'm going to close the door and just assume everything goes to plan. And Scott Evil, played by our boy Seth Green, he's like, why don't you just shoot him in the head right now?
I have a gun in my room. We can get it. We can do it together.
Yeah. Father and son bonding. Bang, bang.
No,
done.
I'm going to put him in an overly elaborate, easily escapable Trapping him.
Austin Powers is so fucking good. Anyway, so the gang turns on Harmony and they're like, we're going to eat her right now. We don't give a shit about you. So then we cut to Spike, who's fixing his TV that he was bragging about to Harmony, and it's broken. And he's like, oh, fucking bullshit. This sucks. And Buffy just comes in, fists a flying, just punches Spike. He's like, where's Harmony's lair? And he's like, why should I tell you? I don't know. I haven't seen her in months. Buffy punches him again. He's like, ow, okay, watch the nose. What are you doing? And Buffy's like, where is she? Where is she? He's like, I don't know. I swear to God. Punch him. Swear to me.
Did you feel bad for Spike here? Because you felt bad last episode when Riley was beating up Spike for information.
I didn't feel bad for Spike here because he lied to Buffy.
When?
Because he said, I don't know where she is. I haven't seen her in months.
Okay.
And then Buffy just punches the information out of him. And he's like, all right. She had a lair back when she was hanging out with me. It was like a cave up this street or whatever. And Buffy's like, all right, cool. He punches him one more time. He's like, what the fuck? What was that about? She's like, just for fun.
God, just hook up already, you two.
The tension is palpable.
I still don't understand how we could get to that.
Yeah. So then we go back to Harmony's lair, and Harmony's yammering to Dawn about how no one respects her. And she's like, no, you have no idea how it feels to I'm under a lot of pressure here to be a good leader of a vampire gang that I sired. And they all are turning on me. And so then the gang turns on her and they're like, we're going to kill this girl right now. And they shove Harmony out of the way. They grab Dawn. And Mort takes Harmony away. And then they're like, all right, little girl, time to feed on you. And then he gets dusted by Buffy, who shows up.
Yeah, he does touch me and my sister. She says, touch me and my sister's going to kill you. He does that classic high school-esque, finger point touch.
Yeah, pokes her.
Yeah. And I was like, as soon as he did that, I was like, he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets dusted, and then Harmony shows back up again, and she goes, so, Slayer, at last we meet. And Buffy's like, we've met you. We went to high school together. What are you fucking talking about?
Great line.
Yeah. And Harmony's like, well, just doing badass lines. This is what Forrest needed when he was...
Harmony seems like she's just bored now.
Yeah. I like that she's trying to be big bad. It's hilarious. It's cute.
It's crazy because when Willow becomes a vampire, she's dangerous. And that's why I thought it was crazy that they were laughing at Harmony being dangerous. Because I was like, Willow doesn't seem like she'd be that dangerous. But Vampire Willow is ruthless.
Yeah.
So you would think Harmony was already a bad...
She was a mean girl.
Yeah. And I loved her getting a squad because I was like, oh yeah, that's the Cordettes. She could just rein in like that. And I was like, oh, we could actually play around with this and be like, holy shit, she actually does have weird, bad leadership stuff. She could have had a whole all-girl, vampire.
That's what I was just about to say. That would have been awesome to have, a girl gang of vampires. That'd be sick.
The female Cordettes, the vamp Cordettes kind of thing.
The Harmettes.
Yeah. That would have been awesome, actually.
I would have loved that. Hopefully, so... What happens next is the big guy, Mort, sneaks up from behind Buffy while Buffy and Harmony are talking.
How? I was just thinking of the 30 Rock episode with Steve Martin. And he's like, I miscounted the men, Liz. I miscounted the men. How did she not notice the biggest person in that cave?
I mean, his head's hitting the ceiling of the cave. There's no way you could do that.
Around. No, I was like, he's behind you. How?
Yeah.
How did he quietly sneak around her?
So he attacks Buffy. Harmony runs away. And that's the last we see of Harmony. Mm-hmm. So maybe that little girl gang of vampires could be something in the future. Would love that.
Could be, but it seems like it'd be this, but doubling down. I mean, I guess you could do it.
It'd be sweet.
Yeah. It would have been better here, though, I think.
Yeah. A new and improved, Harmony's I got a new gang.
Yeah.
So Buffy and Mort duke it out for a long time, and they're going at it. And Dawn is just chained up watching, doing the ooh, ow faces. Oh.
I thought here we were going to find out that Dawn had some type of superpower.
That would have been cool, but no.
Yeah, I thought she was going to like somehow when that vampire poked her or something, she was going to like kick and fight and you're going to be like, oh, wow, we got this like young, like 15-year-old that like took karate or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
she watched Three Ninjas once.
Oh, the ninja era.
Yeah, man. That was a golden era. Ninja Turtles, Three Ninjas. There was like surf ninjas or something.
They were like,
too.
how many ninjas can we get without putting Asian people in the movies? Like it was all white ninjas.
They had Asian mentors. The Three Ninjas had an Asian mentor.
Karate Kid has an Asian mentor, yeah.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
But
Master Splinter was an Asian guy before he was a rat. I mean, Shredder was an Asian.
Sure.
All right. Super Shredder was not. Super Shredder was Kevin Nash from WCW/WWE.
I think the Master Splinter thing is different from the movies and the cartoon and the comics. He was always just a rat, I think, before. No, he was a person. I don't know. I forget which one is which.
He was like a person, and then like Shredder turned on him and turned him into a rat somehow.
In one of them, but in the movie, he was a rat that was practicing while watching his...
Oh, you know what? You're right. Yeah.
It was a rat in a cage practicing martial arts.
Yeah, and then he got the ooze.
Yeah.
You're right.
But yeah, I think in the comics it's different. But yeah, that's Ninja Turtles corner.
Yeah. So yeah, Buffy and Mort fight, and he's got her like in a chokehold, like he's about to choke slam her. He's holding her up by her neck, and Buffy looks to her right, and she sees a gigantic like unicorn carousel figure thing, and she kicks it, and she's like, "Oh shit, this is wood." And she looks at the unicorn horn, and she's like, "Oh, this is perfect."
Yeah.
So she picks it up, or she like kicks him, picks it up, and then stabs him.
This is my favorite trope in fight scenes. She's being held up and being choked, right? She should be trying to stop being choked. But instead, she's like, I need to find the murder weapon first. And then she finds the murder weapon, and then she's like, oh, let me break out of this chokehold.
Dude, breaking out of a chokehold would be so just, especially one like that where you're just being held up with one arm. Just fucking kick him.
I think he had two on her neck. She was really getting choked out.
Yeah, you're right. But he was, but still kick him.
But it seems like she was like, I'm just gonna chill here while I get strangled and look around to see what my next move is. Like instead of like break out of it and find it. They always do like, oh, there's the weapon. Now I have the extra energy. Like,
we've seen vampires get kicked in the balls in this show, right? And it affects them like normal.
Angel got kicked in the balls.
Yeah. Just do that.
No, I mean she's got her arms. I mean she kicks herself out of it. Like like literally she sees the weapon and she goes, "Oh, I'm breaking out of this now."
Yeah,
and
it was a cool kill.
Yeah.
I like that. And then she looks down. She's like, "Ugh, a unicorn." Ugh.
Yeah. And then it gets weird.
Yeah, and then so Buffy walks over to free Dawn after grabbing like a gigantic battle axe, and she's like, "Oh, when we get home, you're so in trouble. I'm going to tell Mom that you did all this stuff." And Dawn's like, "I'm going to tell Mom that you did all this stuff." And Buffy's like, No, you're in so much more trouble. You went outside. You invited a vampire into our house. You went outside and you got kidnapped by vampires. You did there was some other thing.
I don't know. All it was just like her with that axing at the chains, and it's like sparks while they're arguing. And I was just like, this is intense.
Yeah. So then they go back home, and Joyce shows up right as they show up. And Joyce is like, "Oh, man, let me tell you, that exhibit was wild. I trust that everything here went well." And Buffy and Dawn are like, yep, everything's all good. And at this point, I was like, did you not step over that broken lamp that Anya used to smash over the head? Did you not see your fucking front window smashed to smithereens again? How are you like, is everything good? It's like, oh yeah, that's just normal shit.
Well, obviously, Xander and Riley took care of it instead of taking Anya to the hospital because she has a concussion.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, they left. They wouldn't even...
Yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't even have cleaned up anything. So you're right. Like all that mess is like there.
Well, even if they cleaned up the lamp and the glass from the window and then took Anya back to the hospital, there's still no window in the front thing. That's pretty hard to miss. You would hear a breeze blowing through.
Yeah.
But my God. But then you have Buffy, redacts her like, I'm going to tell Mom. And they're like, no, everything was good. And they keep it a secret. And then Dawn's like, maybe Buffy's not so bad.
I was like, yeah, Buffy keeping a secret from her mom? Fine. Like,
yeah.
Like, what's she going to do? Dawn got, like, Buffy would get yelled at if she said anything. Any of that. She'd be like, wait, you said Xander could watch her. And now vampires came and kidnapped her. Like, Buffy would get in trouble. Dawn wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah. So then Dawn's journaling about the day that they just had. And they're like, wow, what a crazy day. Maybe Buffy isn't as bad after all. And she's at the magic shop. And Giles, it's revealed that he has bought the magic shop. And he's the new owner. And Buffy's like, man, how bored were you last year?
They need to investigate if Giles murdered the shop owner.
Absolutely.
You discovered the body and now all of a sudden you own the magic shop? All right.
Yeah.
And I guess you get to keep all the supplies there too.
Yeah. Like he wrote it in his will right here.
If I die here, give it to Giles as is.
So yeah, then Buffy's like, man, how bored were you the last year? And Giles goes, I watched Passions with Spike. That's how bored. Let us never speak of it again.
Love that. Love it.
Yeah, it was great. And then so Buffy's like, Dawn, stay here. Don't touch anything. You know what? Don't do anything. Just stay. You know what? What you're doing right now is perfect. And then Dawn goes back to her journal. And Dawn goes, so Buffy still thinks I'm Little Miss Nobody and treats me like I'm like her dumb little sister. But boy, is she in for a surprise. She doesn't even know who I am. She hasn't even begin to know what I am and who I am and where I'm from. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, I was like, all right. Like, again, like, this is my feeling. And it's not like negative on the show. It's just like, it's only so much energy I can expend guessing what they're going to do next. So I can't. I just like, I'm just going to watch and wait and see. Like, I'm not, I don't have any like, oh, is she this? Is she the spirit of the first Slayer? Is she the master of reincarnate? Like, I don't know. I don't know any of it. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. But that's the episode. That's where it ends. Yeah. So
I had, during our season 4 recap, we got a question that someone wanted us to do. I wanted to pose this to you. Should we give episodes rankings at the end?
Yeah, somebody did ask us that.
And I am on two sides of this. One, I think us giving rankings would like kind of like take away a little bit from the recaps, you know?
Yeah.
On the other side, people have no idea whether or not we like episodes or not.
Yeah, we keep getting questions about like, did you like this? I couldn't catch it if you like this, or
I think it's just like we talk about it and then we talk about the moments and we're like, oh, I like that moment. Oh, that was funny. And then we nitpick stuff because that's fun to do.
Yeah.
Like, look,
and this is a very nitpicky show.
Yes. Like it's random
when they
rules.
started going into that invite rules, I was like, wait a second.
And like what you just brought up with Joyce walking over a broken window, not noticing, and it's like fine, but whatever. We're watching the show, we're bringing it up, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I fall on it. It's like we could give rankings at the end of every episode.
No, I feel like when I don't like an episode, it's very obvious, and I will state like first thing, I'm gonna be honest with all you guys, didn't like this one.
Yeah, I think
just assume other times I did like it, and it was fun, and like it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think we need to give a rating to soothe the like. You listen to the whole podcast, you're like, and did they like it?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy listening to the podcast? That's the more important thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I'll just say, yeah, I enjoy this episode. It's got some fun stuff. Giles with the car, taking over the magic shop's interesting. I think I do wonder if him taking over the magic shop could have been something that happened like middle of last season or towards the end of last season.
I did like that he was like, yeah, now you don't have to come to my fucking house all the time. And
yeah, now
just get out of my house.
Now, so you could just like go to Espresso Pump and then the magic shop next to the... How is the magic shop doing great business? I mean, this is the place where it would do business, but how is it doing that good?
Well, everybody in this town is a witch or a sorcerer or something. It's got to be doing great business.
I think going there would just be like nice to be more connected, you know?
Yes.
Like, oh,
I would go there and be like, where's all of your protection spell books? I need at least that. I'm just a regular fucking guy. Xander said 3 words and lit a book on fire.
Yeah.
Like I could do something.
Yeah.
And he's a dipshit, you know?
Man, are we going to get a version of The Craft, but Giles is going to be the person at the witch store?
Oh. That'd be fun.
What are male witches called? What do they call them? Warlocks? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, got anything else for Real Me, Vance?
No. Good episode. We're just teasing away with this whole Dawn thing, so we'll see what happens.
Next episode's titled The Replacement. Is Dawn replacing somebody?
I feel like the replacement title wouldn't really be referring to Dawn, but maybe it's just Giles in the magic shop. And he has to like find something that's
got
missing.
New customers, and they're like, "Where's Mr. Bogarty?" And he's like, "I'm the new guy. I'm the replacement."
He used to have my toads, my Eye of Newt, my toadstools, my
toadstool,
my orb of Thessalises. Like, I don't know.
Like, hey, you really raised the prices here, Giles. Mr. Bogarty. Well, it's under new management, okay?
The whole episode should just be Giles in over his head running the magic shop.
If you don't like it, go to the other magic shop. Oh, wait, there is no other magic shop. Ethan Rain opens up a magic shop across the street to compete.
Just the Arrested Development banana stand fight, yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going with that because I want to see it.
Well, that is it, everybody. That's a wrap for Real Me. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy. You can check out Joe's fashion report. Oh, also forgot to mention that I'm going to be putting those out. It's every Thursday. So extra content to get you through the week. The first one's like 6-minute video. Like, I don't think they're going to be, again, like I said, not a half hour. Okay. I can't go through everything. Only have so much time in the day. But it'll be fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Also, we have Boys Watching Angel, Boys Watching Movies on there. You want to freaking shout out? You got to rate and review on Apple Podcasts or do the Spotify thing where you give a 5-star rating, screenshot it, send it to my DMs at Joe Welke. Check out our Amazon wish list. We got a bunch of fun stuff on there. I'm trying hard to get... Vance got a new laptop because his last laptop crapped out on him like the day after we recorded an episode.
Yeah, like just finished editing the Buffy episode and barely got it.
So
yeah.
He has a laptop. I'm pushing for Vance to get this laptop case because
hey, I don't care about the laptop case. Give me the Switch.
Okay. we got a Switch. We got the Oculus. Got some Mountain Dew and Monster Energy drinks on there. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
But again, thank you very much for all the stuff that you've gotten us already. It's never expected it. We kind of just did it as a joke, but. I mean, if you guys are going to keep doing it,
we're going to find out Vance's review of Olive Garden at some point.
You know what? Also, I got to say, there's not a lot of Buffy stuff on Amazon. There are some comic books, though. If you know of any like Buffy comic books that are like spoiler free, let us know what they are in Discord, and like maybe we'll do a review of them, or I'll at least read it and do a review of it, throw it up on the Patreon or something.
Joe's fashion report and Joe's Buffy comic report.
Yeah, maybe it'll just be a little extra thing. Yeah. Like I just don't know what is spoilerific in the terms of the comic books, So drop a line in Discord about like which ones we can read, where we're at right now, or something like that. But yeah, thank you so much for all that stuff. Like, it goes without saying that we're very appreciative of all that kind of stuff. And follow the Instagram at Boys Watching Buffy, Boys Watching Buffy on boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com if you want to email in. And yeah, that is it for all the freaking plugs at the end, I think, right?
Yeah, and I guess we can just announce that we're going to do Renfeld.
Yeah, we've been hinting at it. Yeah. We're doing Renfeld for Boys Watching Movies.
It could be this Thursday after this comes out. Might be the next week. But yeah, this month, Renfeld review.
Renfeld for April.
Yep.
It's going to be fun. Love ridiculous Nicolas Cage. Love ridiculous Nicolas Cage. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. And yeah, stay tuned next time for when we talk about The Replacement.
Morning, Miss Summers. You look great.
Oh, thank you, Riley. Suck up.
What? It's a nice outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, I'm here to violate your firstborn. Never goes over with parents. Not sure why.
Seltzer Kings
Podcasts.